to our ground troops. So everything that we as drone operators do is aimed at helping our infantry and tanks and what have you armor to provide better defenses and take back our land. So that's what we have to keep in mind always. The target that we miss might cost the lives of our servicemen in the future. The target that we hit might save a few lives. And yeah, that's the most important aspect and the beautiful aspect of our job is we actually see what we do all the time. We understand when we hit a target, we understand when we are doing a good job, and we understand obviously when we do an improper job, and then we try to devise new strategies. And as I've showed you, the development, well, I crudely showed you, but you can imagine it, the development of the drone technology in the 21st century, it never just stands on its own. It is rapidly developing with a lot of new manufacturers coming into Ukraine as well. With the, I think you know about this, with the Brave marketplace opening up the pipeline between the manufacturer and the brigade, so we can now directly purchase and test new drones, which we do all the time, by the way. We're trying to implement new technology as they arise already. So to be at the spearhead of this technological war, because I think it all leads down to new Hiroshima and Nagasaki as per se, but this new Hiroshima and Nagasaki will look like a drone that will be impenetrable to the electronic warfare and that can cross striking distances like hundreds of thousands of kilometers and precisely strike its target. So I think the first nation, the first country that will develop such technology, and that will also be cheap. Don't forget that aspect.
Mm.
It costs a lot of money to develop and fund the drone testing. You'd have to see a lot of drones that were failing, and this one is not a solution. It's not a be all and end all. It always comes down to the last man standing, boots on the ground, to decide the winner. But this technology, I'm 200% sure it will decide the winner overall, the superpower, whatever you can call it. The one country that will develop the best UAV strategy, it's going to have it all. The laurels of victory will be theirs. So I
I
hope that
have
Ukraine will
one,
be this country.
yeah, one question. You said that you have your targets. Do you fly out and then search for them, or do you get your
Oh,
targets from a higher echelon?
of course, the higher ups provide us with the targets, but that's one of the beautiful aspects of being a drone operator. While you fly en route to the target, you can actually find and spot multiple different other areas to make a bombing run to. So, for example, the one that we're using, I'm not at liberty to discuss what type of drone we're actually flying. So, don't get me wrong, this is a crude idea of what we're actually dealing with. Um, we almost all the time. So due to us being the night flyers, so-called night flyers, because we always fly during the night and we always change our positions, we change our avenues of approach so that our drone will not be shot down or anything like that. Uh, we find new targets all the time, and then we ask our superiors whether or not it is logical for us to divert our ammunition, because as you know, ammunition is never enough in any kind of war. We have to conserve it to deliver the most precise and accurate strikes as possible. Whether or not, hey guys, we've just spotted a mobile, just recently, like a week ago, I would say, we've spotted at least two mobile firing groups, which you have to understand. A mobile firing group is another dirt cheap solution to counter any kind of uh, air supremacy. It's just a pickup vehicle with a Soviet era machine gun on it, with the two guys manning the whole operation. But they're still sting, and they still provide a threat to us. So we deliver all that information to our higher ups. Then it's their job to assess the situation. It's our job to provide them with a strike. And how we do this is up to us. So we can be creative with the chargers that we put on our drones. We can be creative with the drones we use. The question that you've asked before is, do you fly one or four drones? Well, it depends on the platform that we use. So the whole operation looks like we assemble at base, and we have this map that our superiors already uh, skimmed through, and we are to decide which are our priority targets and how to best approach them. We have multiple different drone platforms to use. We have multiple crews, FPV included, right, that work on different kinds of targets. As I already told you, we are working with EW and electronic warfare systems and with anti-air, but we also can't go through with some ammo cache lying there that stockpiles rockets that is then used to terrorize our infantry. We're also using these targets for our purposes. So we are deciding on a platform. This is the first thing. We decide on the platform that is going to be used. We decide on the crew size because different drones obviously demand different crew sizes and different even days of operations. Like, for example, we can go in to the field for 3 days, for 4 days, for 5 days, or just one day. But depending on the mission, the scale of operation, and depending on the result, because sometimes you are being used in repelling Russian assaults, which is the most, I think, impactful right away thing that you will see is when you're dealing with waves upon waves of enemy forces coming in and your drone actually making an impact there. It's a beautiful thing to witness, to be trained at that level and understand that you've actually saved some of the lives of your guys down there. It's one of the most beautiful things ever. Otherwise, when you destroy ammunition stockpile, a stockpile of ammo, or an antenna, you understand mentally that it's a good thing, but you don't see the result until another drone flies through without any issues. But when you actually see the result of repelling an assault, an onslaught, as you know, they utilize this meat grinder tactics. Although right now I would say their tactics are a little bit different, a little bit more skitterish, but that's another topic altogether. So we have multiple, the most important thing is that we have multiple platforms, multiple avenues of approach. We have multiple vehicles to deliver us there. So we have to choose our mode of transport. We have to choose day or night cycle because it's also very important. During the day, you're going to be attacked in a kill zone by Russian Shaheds or FPV drones as well. You have to choose your position very carefully. You have to understand how many days you can spend inside a kill zone, and maybe not even work through a kill zone as well. Maybe you're going to work through like a longer distance setup using a relay, and it's all decided in this boardroom meeting. I think you imagine what it looks like. Only then we are being deployed to our area of operation, and only then we understand what we're working with. Usually, my crew works with 2 drones because we do not require to send out a suicidal bomb rounds. We have certain different technologies to provide packages on top of our enemies' heads, and that allow us to be a bit more flexible. Other guys are waiting for a resupply, so you also have these logistics runs, sometimes even used by unmanned ground vehicles. If for example, the FPV guys are the closest who are situated to the front lines, and I think you can talk about like a 3-4 kilometer distance, which is in range of most mortars, in range of most other enemy FPV drones, in range of always in danger of being encircled, always in some kind of immediate danger. While we, the big boys in the air, are not so in direct line of fire, but we're also in danger of being spotted and mowed down because we are one of the top priority targets for Russians as well. So when we account all that planning into our mission, only then we go out to the field and then we work until it's done. And usually we have something like 20 flights per day, and it's a lot considering the distance you cover, considering the amount of calculations that go into dropping a bomb or providing like operating this drone, maneuvering on the echelon, trying to get into the target and provide accurate destruction of the and accurate work. This is very hard indeed, but not as hard as the guys on the front lines as the infantry does. So we always keep that in mind, and it becomes as easy as I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, well, I can imagine there's some psychological couldn't get it out of my mouth, but there's
Aspect.
yes, the stress aspect of seeing your drone hitting a human being. And I know you're in war, but how do you cope with that?
The same way as snipers cope when they see the target. that is being downed. It's a job essentially. It's a job, and the way that you do your job is you kill the enemy. It's a nothing
And
burger,
there are,
and it becomes
do you have talks with people about that, so that there's no stress over 10 years or whatever?
that's another beautiful question because we have in Azov we've built this system of dedicated psychiatrists that were dealing with soldiers, and we have regular mental checkups, uh, crew wide, regiment wide, company wide checkups. And should any of us have any issues, we are always welcomed with open arms. There is no stigma here. There's always this question about your efficiency as a soldier. And if something is not working up there, you have to deal with it. And we are, as a already mentioned, this camaraderie is not on paper. We always support each other whenever we're having these kinds of thoughts, because obviously it's going to go to your head someday. But we are trained to block out these impulses, and you essentially this is another strange aspect of war, especially the FPV kind, like the sound that is emanating from the drone, it stays with you forever. I can I can tell you that, especially the one of the drone that is coming into a strike with all the throttles maxed out. It's another kind of fear that you will experience. I'm saying it and smiling. I'm not smiling because it's funny. I'm smiling because that's my cope mechanism. That's how I'm coping with it, because it's a funny thing. One day you're here, another day you're not there anymore. But yeah, what can you do? It is what it is. The funniest thing is we always have checkups as a group, and then should somebody experience some kind of breakdown or some kind of bad thought process, he will always have a possibility to talk privately without it being um, stigmatized and
Hmm.
overtly discussed. So yeah, I'm so grateful to our medics and people inside that team, actual psychiatrist team that is capable of doing their job. I was talking to one of them, I think a few years ago when I was still in the infantry, and they've helped me helped me out to deal with it. Also, it helps being in combat helps you with being an operator. So it's a different kind of medium that you understand that something is going on over there, but you're here. It's totally strange way to go about warring, because we've as species warred for hundreds of thousands of years, but now it's done indirectly. Well, it's a different question. And as you correctly stated, 10 years ahead, that's what we have to be dealing with. Like it's